I can hold it.
Why can't we hear it?
We'll be starting in about a minute. Hello, everybody.
Shabbat Shalom.
Shalom Shabbat.
Shalom Shabbat.
Get ready to do your job tonight.
Sure.
You know what to do.
I
You're
think
not
that
muting us all tonight, Rabbi.
Well, I could.
Okay.
Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat
Okay.
Shalom,
Hello,
everyone.
everybody.
Tilt the screen this way.
it's 8 p.m.
Paula?
It's 8 o'clock p.m. Shabbat. Friday, Shabbat. Shabbat
Shabbat.
Shalom.
Shabbat Friday. La 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 la. La 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 la. Ya la 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 la. Ya la ya la ya la 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 la. Ya la ya la ya la 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 la.
2, 3, 4.
La 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 la. La 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 la. Bim bam bim bam bim bim bam bim bam bim 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 bam. Shabbat shalom, Shabbat shalom, Shabbat 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 shalom.
Hey.
Shabbat shalom, Shabbat shalom, Shabbat 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 shalom. Didn't your mother teach you to say hey is not very nice? Shabbat 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 shalom, Shabbat Shabbat. Shabbat, Shabbat, Shalom, Shabbat, Shalom, hey you, Shabbat, Shalom, Shabbat, 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 Shalom, bim, bam, bim, bam, bim, 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 bam, 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 bim, bam, bim, bim, bam, bim, 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 bam. Bim, 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 bim. Hey. Bum. Shabbat shalom, everybody. All right. Well, it's a very interesting night tonight. Completely on Zoom, YouTube, and Facebook. Shabbat shalom to all the folks watching from afar and wondering what's going on there. Well, we had a little bit of snow today, some shelet bachutz, a little bit of white sand. And my plow guy broke down, so I'm here, and that's where I am. How's everybody? Any good news tonight that people would like to share with us? Any good news? Take it away.
I finally get a chance for some good news, Rabbi.
Take it away, Richard.
After 3 weeks, because I haven't been on for the last 3 weeks, I'm proud to say that 3 weeks ago, my grandson was bar mitzvahed. We had a spectacular Friday night dinner, service on Saturday, and a magnificent evening affair, all catered by our good friend Todd Levine by Tevia's Catering. It was a wonderful weekend, and I could not have been more proud of my grandson, who really went from a little boy to a man in one day on the Bima. It was incredible. We were so proud of him, and so proud of the fact that my son used Todd, because it became a really good evening and function. So,
Mazel tov. Mazel tov.
the other good news is I was speaking to my friends in Colorado earlier in the week. They were 2 miles away from that fire, and they were ready to move out. They had packed their car out, but fortunately things got better and they did not have to. So
thank God
that
for
was
them.
good news. Yeah, thank God.
And it's sad for the ones that didn't get out. Oh,
That's
sad.
true.
Very sad. Thank you for that. Anyone else with some good news tonight? Oh, Jeff Schultz, do you have any good news tonight? If you don't, I do. Oh, Jeff. We should say happy anniversary to Jeff Schultz tonight.
Today marks my 2nd year of my lung transplant. So we're going strong.
2nd year. Mazel tov to you.
Yeah, 2 years today.
I hope I didn't wake you up too early this morning to wish you a happy anniversary.
No, you texted, so you didn't, I was up. So by about 2 minutes, but I was up.
You had to wake up to answer the text. Mazel tov to you. Congratulations. It is a beautiful day for you. It really is. That's great news.
It is.
Anybody else with some good news?
So we had a very nice virtual Shabbat dinner. It was small and intimate, but it was great.
Hamish,
right? The food was great. We had people join us for Birkat Hamazon afterwards, and we had the best, for me tonight, the best thing possible was Little Miles Band, who was on Zoom with us, smiling and laughing. And Loretta, thank you for bringing him to us.
Yeah, it made all of our day. Those of us that were on with him, I hope he's sleeping now, but
Thank you. Yeah, I think our good news is that we have him for a week while Josh and Kat are on their honeymoon.
for a week. Oh, that's awesome.
For a week, we have him, and he's asleep right now,
Well,
and
we
we're
sang.
surviving.
Well, we sang him to sleep. I mean, we did that for you.
Yeah, you did. Yeah, you did. Yeah, no, he's out like a light right now. He's a
so
sweetheart.
wonderful.
He's easy. So it's been a fun week.
Mazel, mazel, mazel. Anyone else with some good news? Mic open if you want. Seeing no mics opening. Are we done? Nothing, Esther? Marsha.
I tried to get on to be with you at 6 o'clock, and I wasn't able to get on. And I saw that there were only because I saw a portion, there were only 5 or 6 people on.
What happened?
I don't know, but I did try.
You should have called me. I would have gotten you on.
Pardon me?
I feel bad now. You made me cry.
Oh, I don't want to do that.
I wanted you to come for dinner. There's a whole plate waiting for you guys.
Well, I already ate. Thank you anyways.
I'm glad you. Well, I'm glad you got
I feel that that we didn't want to come. There might have been others too. I don't know.
I don't know why you couldn't get on. It was the same link, but we're glad you're here. We're glad you're here.
It took me a while to get on tonight too, but maybe it's me. But
Nah, it's got to be Zoom. It can't be the user. It's never the user. It's got to be Zoom. It's got to be.
Of course not. It's
Trust me, I know.
Home, everybody.
I'm glad you're on. We're glad you made it on, and I hope you had a good dinner and a Shabbat Shalom to you. Final call. Anybody else with some good news? Having said none, all right, we're going to start our service. We're doing it with the Siddur on the screen because I don't know if everybody has a Siddur at home or not, but if you do, page 13 is the Shalom Aleichem. And since I have my guitar in hand, I'll do this, and then the rest of it we'll do the traditional way. Shalom Aleichem. I'm in the wrong key. There we go. Shalom Aleichem. Malachei Hasharei. Malachei Elyon. Mimelech Malachei Amlachim HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Malachem Shalom, Malachei Shalom, Malachei Elyon. Mimelech Malachei Amlachim HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Baruch Hu Mine Shalom, Malachei Shalom, Malachei Amlachim HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Teichem Shalom, Malachei Shalom, Mimelech Malachei Amlachim HaKadosh Baruch Hu. At the bottom of the page, the English. Who would like to lead that for me? Turn your mic on and just start. The sun on the treetops. Take it away. Somebody take it.
The sun on the
Thank you, Min.
no longer is seen. Come, let us welcome Shabbat, the true queen. Behold our descending, the holy, the blessed, and with her God's angels of peace and of rest. Come now, dear queen, with us abide. Come now, Shabbat our bride. Shalom Aleichem, angels of peace.
Thank you, official timekeeper. We appreciate that. Mimi, stand by. You'll get the next one. Page 14, Yedid Nefesh. Yedid Nefesh, Avarachaman, Mishochav Dacher Ritzonach, Yaritz Avdach, Kemo Ayar Yishtachaveh, Amul Adarach, Yerav Lo Yedidutach, Minofet Suf V'chotam, Yalalalai, 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 Sabbath prayer. Mimi, take it away.
Dear God, help us now to make this a new Shabbat. After noise, we see quiet. After clouds of different strangers, we seek to touch those we love. After concentration on work and responsibility, we seek freedom to meditate, to listen to our inward selves. We open our eyes to the hidden beauties, the infinite possibilities in the world you are creating. We break open the gates of the reservoirs of goodness and kindness in ourselves and in others. We reach toward one holy, perfect moment of Shabbat.
L'chun ranana, page 15. L'chun ranana, l'chun ranana, l'chun ranana, l'chun ranana, l'chun ranana, l'chun ranana, Naria, Naria, l'tzui shenu nekadma fana betoda. Naria, Naria, l'tzui shenu bizmir. Marialo, Lechune Ranana, Lechune Ranana, Lechune Ranana, Lechune Ranana, Lechune Ranana, Lechune Ranana, Adonai, Ki Yagadol, Magadol, Arbaim shanaku bedor yamoram televavim vehem ledu drachai asher nishpati b'api imivon el menuchati. Okay, now I need 2 volunteers. I'm going to call on Richie and Loretta to do the psalm in English. Psalm 96.
Sing a new song to Adonai, acclaim Adonai, all people on earth.
Sing to Adonai, proclaim each day God's awesome might, announce to the world God's glory and wonders.
For Adonai is great, deserving of praise. Adonai alone is to be revered as God.
All the gods of the nations are nothingness, but Adonai created the heavens.
Majesty and might accompany God. Splendor and strength adorn God's sanctuary.
Acknowledge Adonai, all families of nations. Acclaim God's majestic power. Acknowledge God's glory and bring him tribute.
Worship Adonai in resplendent reverence. Let the earth tremble in God's presence.
Declare to the world, Adonai is sovereign. God has steadied the world which stands firm and judges all nations with fairness.
Let the heavens rejoice. Let the earth be glad. Let the sea and all it contains exult.
Let field and forest sing for joy. Adonai comes to rule the earth, to rule the world justly, the nations with faithfulness.
Thank you so very much. Lifnei kiva lishpot haaretz, yishpot hevel b'tzedek, v'yanim b'emunato. And we're going to move on to page 20. We'll rise if you choose. Mizmor l'David havu l'Adonai, b'nei elim havu l'Adonai, kavod va'oz havu l'Adonai, kavod shemo hishtachavu l'Adonai behar kodesh. Kol Adonai al hamayim el hakavod hirim, Adonai al mayim rabim. Kol Adonai ba'korach, Kol Adonai behadar, Kol Adonai shover arazim, Vaishaber Adonai et arzei alvanon. Vayakidem kemo egel Levanon v'Sirion kemo ven re'emim. Kol Adonai chosev lavot eish, Kol Adonai yachil midbar, yachil Adonai midbar kadesh, Kol Adonai yecholel hayalot. Vayechasov ye'oro u'heichalo kulo omer kavod. Adonai lama avu yashav vayeshev Adonai melech le'olam. Adonai oz le'amo yitein. Adonai yivarech et amo v'shalom. And if you're standing, you may be seated. And if you're hearing banging noises in my background, that's because the plow guy just got here. So thank God for that. Lecha dodi, every other stanza, we'll sing together. Lecha dodi likrat kala p'nei Shabbat nikabela. Lecha dodi likrat kala p'nei Shabbat nikabela. Shamor v'zachor b'dibur echad, nishmiyanu el hamikad. Adonai echad, u'shmo echad, v'shemu tiferet v'litila. Lecha dodi likrat kala, p'nei Shabbat nikabela. Mikdash melech ir melucha, kumitzeim mitoch afecha, rav lach shevet v'mekabacha, v'hu yachamol alaychem lalecha, dodi likrat kala, p'nei Shabbat nikabela. Hitorori, ki va'orech umi ori, uri, shir daberi, kivod Adonai alayich nigla. Lecha dodi likrat kala, p'nei Shabbat nikabela. והיולים שיסשוסייך ורחקו כל מבעלייך יסיס עלייך אלוהיך כי יבססך תנא כלה לך דודי לקראת כלה פני שבת נקבלה. If you choose to stand, it would be appropriate. בואי בשלום עטרת בלה גם בשמחה ובצהלה תוך אמוני עם סגולה בואי חלה לך דודי לקראת כלה פני שבת נקבלה. And now that we've just welcomed in the Shabbat bride, you may be seated. And I'm going to look for a volunteer at this time. Who would like to help me with the Psalm for Shabbat? Anyone? Speak now or forever hold your mute button. Who would like to do the Psalm for Shabbat? Who's that? Jim and Karen?
Gail and Barry.
Oh, okay. Gail and Barry, go ahead. Take it away.
It is good to acclaim Adonai, to sing your praise, exalted God.
To affirm your love each morning and your faithfulness each night, to the music of the lute and the melody of the harp.
Your works, Adonai, make me glad. I sing with joy of your creation.
How vast your works, Adonai, your designs are beyond our grasp.
The thoughtless cannot comprehend, the foolish cannot fathom this.
The wicked may flourish, springing up like grass, but their doom is sealed, for you are supreme forever.
Your enemies, Adonai, your enemies shall perish. All the wicked shall crumble.
But me you have greatly exalted. I am anointed with fragrant oil. I have seen the downfall of my foes. I have heard the despair of my attackers.
The righteous shall flourish like the palm tree. They shall grow tall like a cedar in Lebanon. Planted in the house of Adonai, they shall thrive in the courts of our God.
They shall bear fruit even in old age. They shall be ever fresh and fragrant, to proclaim Adonai is just, my rock in whom there is no flaw.
Thank you so much for that. 4 lines from the bottom in Hebrew. Tzadik katamar yifrach ke'erez balvanon yizkar shetulim bebeit Adonai v'chatrot Eloheinu yafrichu Od Yenuvim b'seva Yishaynim v'rananim yehu L'hagig ki yashar Adonai Sori v'lo avlatabo. Page 24 if you're in the Siddur. Namalach gevut levesh. Edotecha nemnumod lebehecha navakodesh Adonai leorech yamim. And now the mourner's Kaddish is recited. Those of you reciting Kaddish morning or observing a yard site will rise. You may join me if you wish with your mics open if you want to recite the Kaddish together with me standing. Yitkadal v'yitkadash shemei rabbah V'alma divra chirutei, v'amlich malchutei, b'chayechon, v'yomechon, v'chayei b'chol beit Israel, ba'agala, v'vizman kariv, v'yamru amen. Yehei shmei rabba mevarach, le'olam olomei omaya. Yitbarach, Yishtabach, V'yitpa'ar, V'yitramam, V'yitnaseh, V'yithadar, V'yit'aleh, V'yithalal, Shemei Dekodesha Berichu, Le'ela min kol birchata v'shirata, Tushbechata v'nechemata, Da'amiran b'yama v'yimu, Amen. Yehei shalama rabbanin shemaya, v'chayim aleinu, v'al kol Yisrael v'yimru, Amen. Oseh shalom b'mramah, v'yaseh shalom, Aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'yamru.
Amen.
Amen. And we'll ask everybody to please remute your microphones. And I appreciate you joining me for the Baruch Hu with mics muted, please. As we stand, typically for the Baruch Hu, the call to worship. Baruch Hu et Adonai Habarach. Baruch Adonai Baruch Le'olam Va'ed. And you may be seated. Baruch Eloheinu Chalam Asher Bevarim Mari Baravim B'Chochma V'Teach Sharim. Yom V'Layla Golel Or Mipnei Choshech V'Choshech Mipnei Or U'Ma'avir Yom Mevi Layla U'Ma'avir Ben Yom Ben Layla L'Lai Tzavaot Shemo El Chai V'Kayam Tamid Yimloch Aleinu Le'olam Va'ed Baruch Atah Adonai Amari Barabim Avat Olam Beit Yisrael Amcha Torah Mitzvot Chukim Mishpatim Otanu Limadata Al Kain Adonai Eloheinu V'shachbeinu V'kumeinu Nasiach B'chukecha V'nismach B'divrei Toratecha V'mitzvotecha Le'olam Va'ed Ki Hem Chayenu V'yorech Yameinu Uvahem Nege Yomam Balayla V'yavadcha Tasim Mimenu Le'olamim Baruch Atah Adonai Ohev Amo Yisrael Shema Yisrael Adonai Eloheinu Adonai Echad. V'ahavta et Adonai Elohecha b'chol lebavcha b'chol nafshecha b'chol ma'odecha. V'hayu hadvarim ha'ele asher anochi mitzavecha hayom al levavecha. V'shinantam levanecha v'dibarta bam. V'shiftecha b'beitecha uv'lechtecha v'derech uv'shoftecha uv'kumecha uv'kshaltam la'ot al yadecha v'hayu l'totafot bein einecha uv'chtavtam al mezuzot beitecha uv'hisharecha v'haya im shemoah tishma'u el mitzvotai asher anochi mitzavechem hayom le'avadim v'chem v'cholochem v'cholochem. All of them be all nafshechem v'shtomatom le'otvenechem v'otodot beinunechem. V'man yibu yimei v'yemrechem al hadama asher nishpa Adonai levotechem latet lahem kimei hashamayim al haaretz v'yomer Adonai al Moshe le'mor daber Abnei Yisrael v'matah lehem yasu lahem tzitzit al kafei b'ydehem ledorotam v'natnu al tzitzit hakanaf v'til techele v'haya lachem lo tzitzit uritem oto uschartem kol mitzvot Adonai v'yasitem otam V'lo tatuhu acharei lebavchem acharei einechem asher atem zonim achareihem leman tizkeru v'yasitem et kol mitzvotai v'hitem kedoshim le'Elohechem ani Adonai Elohechem asher hotzeti etchem me'eretz Mitzrayim liod lachem le'Elohim ani Adonai Elohechem emet, Adonai Elohechem emet, page 32. Im Torah Benach Yisrael Amo. ומלכותו ברצון קיבלו עליהם משה בני ישראל הכנו שירה בשמחה רבה ויאמרו כולם מי כמוך באלים אדוני מי כמוך נדר בקודש נורא תהילות עושה פלא מלכות ראו בניך בוקר לפני משה זה עניינו ויאמרו אדוני ימלוך לעולם ועד ונאמר גברת יעקב וגול אומר חזק ממנו ברוך אתה אדוני גואל ישראל. Oh, Richard Strauss, take it away. Page 33, Hashkivenu in English.
Thank you, Rabbi. Help us, Adonai, to lie down in peace and awaken us again, our sovereign, to life. Spread over us your shelter of peace. Guide us with your good counsel. Save us because of your mercy. Shield us from enemies and pestilence, from starvation, sword, and sorrow. Remove the evil forces that surround us. Shelter us in the shadow of your wings, O God, who watches over us and delivers us, our gracious and merciful ruler. Guard our coming and our going. Grant us life and peace now and always. Spread over us the shelter of your peace. Praise to you, Adonai, who spreads the shelter of peace over us, over all his people Israel, and over Jerusalem.
Thank you so much. Ushmor tzeitenu v'reinu l'chaim shalom me'ata v'yad olam. ופרוס עלינו סוכת שלומך, ברוך אתה אדוני, הפורש סוכת שלום עלינו, ועל כל עמו ישראל, ועל ירושלים. If we now stand on page 34 for Vishamru, if you choose, this is the appropriate time to be standing. Vishamru v'nei Yisrael et ha-Shabbat לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם עולם ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם ביני ובין בני ישראל אותי לעולם אותי לעולם אותי לעולם ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם כי ששת ימים עשה אדוני את השמיים ויהיה הארץ ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם וביום השביעי שבת וינפש שבת וינפש שבת וינפש ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם יתגדל ויתקדש שמי רבה ביעמד יברח חירותי וימליך מלכותי בחייכם וביומכם ובחיי בכל בית ישראל בגלה ובזמן קריב יאמרו אמן יהי שמי רבה מברך לעולם לא מיומיה יתברך וישתבח ויפאר רומם ויתנשא ויתהדר ויתעלה שמי קדושה בריחו לעילמים כל בחטא ושירתה תושבחתה ונחמתה Damiran biyama bimaru. Amen. If you have a Siddur at home, page 35A or B through 38, the Amida is silent. I'll say the words in case you cannot, or they're in English on the side of the page. If you wish to use the English words, the words in your heart, whichever you choose is fine. Melech Ozer Forget Moshe Magen Baruch Hamayim Magen Abraham Kate Sarah. Tagi Baruch Hamayim Machem Et Yemat Harav Moshe Moshe Baruch Hashem Echem Efes Nafim Tem Rachmim Rabim Somech Noflim Barufech Lemetres Rum Kem Natosh Nefar Michamach Bavrat Melach Mak Meid Moshe Rabin Everything Metim Lachos Baruch Naya El HaKadosh Takadash Et Yom HaShvi V'Shibchat HaKamas HaShem HaVe'aretz Barachtu Mikol Shema V'Kdosh Mikol Shemanim V'Tev V'Techa V'Yechu HaShem HaVe'aretz V'Chol Tzvam V'Chayim HaMashkim HaTorah Sharsa V'Yishbal HaMashkim HaKamat Torah Sharsa V'Yirachlim Et Yom HaShvi V'Kadesh Oto Kibo Shabbat V'Kamat Torah Asher Bara Ali Masod Eloheinu V'Eloteinu V'Tzev V'Nefutenu V'Tzev 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 Say now he been quite sure to tell me she would tell me to let me about the Beraton, the Beraton, the Mirror of Dutch for the Mach of Texas, and I need a visual culture roaming program. Macron, what him and after Lach, Chateau, my line with him on overhead. So I am again, she will call the Batorna, but famous from the attack of Lach. And I said, I shall call you a man of the entire Hamshal, the Brockwood Sarai, Top Machaber Macam, Mecca, Nealam, Kivin, Lach, the Alcolami Prophet, Mamshim Muhammad, the level of the Salver, the net. توش میخوام خیلی بالاخره نداد شانم را بیشتر میخوام خواهش شدی بتاسینم something no شانم را بیشتر میخوام خواهش شدی بتاسینم واسه شده موزن nice really well. Session, that's really important. May the Lord protect and defend you. May He always shield you from shame. May you come to be in Israel a shining name. May you be like Ruth and like Esther. May you be deserving of strengthen them, O Lord, and keep them from the stranger's way. May God bless you and grant you long life. May the Lord fulfill our Sabbath prayer for you. May God make you good mothers and wives. May He send you husbands who will care for you. May the Lord protect and defend you. May the Lord preserve you from pain. Favor them, O Lord, with happiness and peace. Oh, hear our Sabbath prayer. And now let's read the passage after the Amida, and the word Redeemer will stop and we'll sing Oseh Shalom. And that's not the right one. It's the one up here. My God, keep my tongue from evil, my lips from lies. Help me ignore those who would slander me. Let me be humble before all. Open my heart to your Torah, that I may pursue your mitzvot. Frustrate the designs of those who plot evil against me. Make nothing of their schemes. Act for the sake of your compassion, your power, your holiness, and your Torah. Answer my prayer for the deliverance of your people. May the words of my mouth and the meditations of my heart be acceptable to you, my rock and my redeemer. Oh, say shalom b'mrama. Oh, say shalom aleinu. I'll call Israel. Shalom, shalom aleinu, Yalkol Yisrael. Yaseh shalom, yaseh shalom, shalom aleinu, Yalkol Yisrael. Yaseh shalom, yaseh shalom, shalom aleinu, Yalkol Yisrael. Yaseh shalom. Yaseh shalom, shalom aleinu, Yalkol Yisrael. Yaseh shalom, yaseh shalom, shalom aleinu, Yalkol Yisrael. Amen. May the one who brings peace to his universe bring peace to us, to all the people of Israel. I'll call Yoshvei Tevel and all who dwell on God's earth, and let us together say, Amen. We're going to pray for healing. There's a lot of people who are ill, and we are praying for so many people who are dealing not just with COVID, but with so many other illnesses, and we ask God to hear us and to hear our prayers. And so I will begin the Mishaberach, and for those of you that wish to say the name or names of people that you're praying for, you may open your mics when you do so, and then please remute afterwards. And when I hear everyone finish, I'll continue. Steve
Goldberg,
Howard Weinberg,
John Jones,
Robin
Ann
Jones,
Sullivan, Ann Rumpf, Angela Volante, Ann Mortallaro,
Anna Jim Noble.
Steve Goldberg, Bernard Gordon.
Michelle Zamek.
כל החולים בקהילה הקדוש ברוך הוא מלא רחמים עליהם להחזיקם ולפרותם וישלח להם מהרה רפואה שלמה מן השמיים בפרט הנפש והתרגול בתוך שאחרי ישראל שבתים וניזוק ורפואו קרבו לבוא השתה בגלל זמן קריב ונאמר amen. God bring blessing and healing to all the names that we just said, all the people we pray for every day on our personal lists, those we know of, those we may not know of, those who suffer illness within the congregational family. May the Holy One mercifully restore them to health and to vigor, granting them physical and spiritual well-being, together with people everywhere who may be ill. May the source of strength who bless the ones before us help us find the courage to make our lives a blessing, and let us say Amen. Bless those with need of healing with refuah shalomah. We renew the body, we renew the spirit, And let us say amen. And unfortunately, I had the capo in the wrong place. Sorry about that. It doesn't always work when you're doing things live, but it is what it is. Let's move to page 47. That is 47. And if you wish to stand for the Vayachulu, we will do so. The Vayachulu. Vayachulu hashamayim v'haaretz v'chol tzavam vayechal Elohim bayom hashvi'i melachto asher asa vayishpot bayom hashvi'i mikol melachto asher asa vayevarech Elohim et yom hashvi'i vayikadesh oto kivo shavad mikol melachto kivo shavad mikol melachto asher bara Elohim lasot. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu v'Elohei avoteinu Elohei Avraham Elohei Yitzchak v'Elohei Yaakov Elohei Sarah Elohei Rivka Elohei Rachel Elohei Leah El Gadol HaGibor v'Hanora El Elyon Konei Shamayim v'Aaretz. If you're standing, you may be seated. Magen Avod B'Dvaro Mechayim Meitim B'Mamaro El HaKadosh She'en Kamo Amin Yachlayamo B'Yom Shabbat Kodsho Kivam Ratza Lehaniach Lahem Kivam Ratza Lehaniach Lahem Lefanav Navo Be'irav V'Fachar V'Navehem Yishmo B'Chol Yom Tamid V'Yon HaBrachot Elahod Adon Shalom Mekadesh HaShabbat U'Mevarech Shevim Enyach B'Kedusha Le'yamedu Shneon V'Gzeichel L'Maaseh L'Maaseh Bereshit Eloheinu Eloheinu V'Tzeinu Chateinu Ha'adshenu b'mitzvotecha v'techelkeinu b'toratecha Sahabeinu miturecha v'samcheinu b'shuatecha v'tahenu b'yavecha b'yomet v'hanuchilenu Adonai Eloheinu v'yahavahu v'yatzon Shabbat Kodshecha v'luchura Yisrael mikadshei shemecha baruch atah Adonai mekadesh HaShabbat Yikadal v'yikadash shemei Rabbah v'yamad yivrach yiratei v'yamlich malchutei b'chayechon v'yamichon v'cherechot beit Yisrael v'agalav izman karev v'yomeru amen yehi shmei Rabbah mevarach le'olam me'omaya yibarach Yibarach v'yishtabach v'yibar v'yirmam v'yitnaseh v'yitadar v'yitalav v'yitalav shemei l'kodesha b'richu Le'lam in kol b'chata v'shirata tushbachata v'rachmata damiram b'yamav v'yamru amen But also, Torah Yisrael Kadam V'Hod V'Shmai V'Yamru Amen. Yehi Shalom Rabbi Min Shemai V'Chaim Aleim V'Kos V'Yamru Amen. Oseh Shalom Din Ramav Yaseh Shalom Aleinu V'Yakol Yisrael V'Yamru Amen. Well, I love when we're on Zoom because when we're on Zoom, Jacob usually bails me out and he does the kiddush for me. Right, Jacob?
Right.
Yeah. You rocking and ready?
Yeah.
Got your kiddush cup filled?
Uh-huh.
You're all set?
Mm-hmm.
All right, Jacob's going to do the kiddush for us. If you're watching, folks, it's on page 49 in your Sidurim. Jacob? Jacob, you got to turn your mic back on. Otherwise, we're not going to hear a word you're saying. As they say in computer language. There we go. Unmute. Okay.
Sorry. Okay. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, borei pri hagafen. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kiddushanu b'mitzvotav ratzavanu, v'shabbat kodsho b'yahava u'ratzon hinilanu. Zikron l'maaseh v'reishit, ki hu yom tehillah l'mekrayei kodesh. Zecher l'tziyat mitzrayim, kivanu baharta v'otanu kidashta michol hamim v'shabbat kodshecha v'yahava uvratzon hinhaltanu baruch atah Adonai mekadesh haShabbat.
Amen. All right. Beautiful job there. As usual. I love when you come to our services, Jacob.
Thank you.
No, thank you very, very much. I know everybody really appreciates it when you come and you do the service with us. So thank you very much for making our night. You did a beautiful job. We thank you for that.
Thank you.
All right. So I'm going to deliver a Devar Torah tonight. And why not? We're talking about the Parshat Bo. Bo, the Torah I want to tell, or the story that I want to tell you tonight actually began. Jacob, you like stories? Jacob, you like it when I tell stories? Once upon a time, there was a young bar mitzvah student named Jacob. You like those stories, Jacob? But that's not about you. It's not. It's a little before you. It was actually a story that began a long, long time ago in a galaxy not too far away. Well, actually, to be exact, it was in our galaxy. It began about 3,000 years ago when Moshe went up to Har Sinai, to Mount Sinai, and wrote the Torah as God instructed him to do. Our story really began long before that, but in the interest of time, and I know it's Jacob's bedtime pretty soon, so I just won't go beyond this, right? We'll start here. It took 40 days and 40 nights for God to dictate the Torah to Moshe, who diligently took down every single word that God told him. God told Moshe that this Torah and this Torah only will lead the Jewish people with its wisdom from generation to generation, the dor vador. Sometimes Moshe complained about the exhausting nature of his work. And he asked God, why do I have to put these little crowns, all these little crowns on these letters? Surely I would be finished much sooner, if not for them. God shushed him and told him about Rabbi Akiva, who, though not yet born, would one day be so good at interpreting God's Torah that he would even be able to interpret the crowns on top of the letters. So Moshe wrote everything down as directed. Now, what he did not write down were the things that you, Jacob, have been learning. The trope. He kept these melodies in his head, and he told the people when he came down below, Mercha tipcha munach et nachta, Mercha tipcha mercha sof pasuk. That's how it goes. Trust me, I got it straight from God. They taught their children, and their children's children taught their children, and their children taught their children's children. And so many Jews were teaching so many other Jews that a new profession emerged, that of a bar mitzvah teacher. The bar mitzvah teacher taught as Moshe had taught. Mercha tipcha munach et nachta, Mercha Tipcha, Mercha Sof Pasuk. That's how it goes. Trust me. I got it straight from my great-great-grandparents who got it straight from Moshe, who got it straight from God. This Torah traveled with Bnei Israel who wandered from camp to camp as it rested inside the Ark of the Covenant, which was created for this one purpose, while its melodies and its teachings resided in the hearts of the Jews who kept watch over it. Great power was attributed to the Ark of the Covenant, and woe to those who possessed it against God's will. All of us who have seen Raiders of the Lost Ark know this. The Torah Scroll was dictated to Moshe, who wrote it on a parchment made from the skin of a kosher animal. He wrote it with a feather from a kosher bird in deep black ink. From this Torah, every Torah thereafter was written. Every single Torah thereafter had to be written on parchment, taken from the skin of a kosher animal, written with the feather from a kosher bird in deep black ink. Since Moshe was not available to do the writing himself, then a suitable substitute had to be found. There were many laws that were written to describe the process and the quality of the person who was allowed to write the Torah scrolls. This person, no matter how knowledgeable, was never allowed to write a Torah from memory, but always had to write a Torah from another Torah. With every Torah, there was always someone who carried the melodies and the teachings by heart. Mercha tipcha munachet nachta, mercha tipcha mercha sof pasuk. That's how it goes. Trust me, I got it straight from my great-great-great-grandparents, who got it straight from their great-great-grandparents, who got it straight from Moshe, who got it straight from God. In difficult times for the Jews, even in times when the Jews were not able to keep the Torah close to them, they kept the Torah in their hearts. When they were able, they made Sifrei Torah scrolls from parchment taken from the skin of kosher animals, written with a feather from a kosher bird in deep black ink. It was read to all who could understand. Bar mitzvah teachers taught the Torah to their students. Mercha tipcha munachet nachta, mercha tipcha mercha sof pasuk. That's how it goes. Trust me, I got it straight from my great-great-grandparents, who got it straight from their great-great-grandparents, who got it straight from their great-great-grandparents, who got it straight from Moshe, who got it straight from God. When they came for the Jews in the middle of the 20th century, one such scroll was smuggled into Bergen-Belsen in northwestern Germany, the same camp that housed Anne Frank. This Torah was a tree of life to them, an Eitz Chaim, who held fast to it. It was not a very large Torah as Torahs go. A large Torah probably would have been noticed. This Torah was smuggled into the camp by a rabbi from Amsterdam who did not live to see it freed from Bergen-Belsen, but brought this gift of life to his fellow inmates anyway. They gave this gift of life to a 13-year-old boy who was taught, Mercha tipcha munachet nachta, mercha tipcha mercha sof pasuk. That's how it goes. Trust me, I got it straight from my great-great-grandparents, who got it straight from their great-great-grandparents, who got it straight from their great-great-grandparents, who got it straight from their great-great-great-grandparents, who got it straight from Moshe, who got it straight from God. At the end of the war, when this 13-year-old was freed from Bergen-Belsen, he took his little Torah, this gift of life, and traveled far, so far away to help found a very ancient new country. This country was named for its people, Yisrael, a people that had always struggled with God. This young boy had been struggling with God for most of his life. He studied as much science as he could and learned as much about God's world as he could. He became a professor of planetary physics. He worked with a young Israeli who was too young to have survived the Holocaust, but whose mother survived Auschwitz and whose father fought for Israel's independence. This young Israeli took the Torah, the same Torah that had been a gift of life to the inmates of Bergen-Belsen, that had traveled from Amsterdam, that was scribed by a sofer fully versed in the Torah and the laws of making a Torah scroll, which was made from parchment taken from the skin of a kosher animal, written with the feather from a kosher bird in deep black ink, just as Moshe had done, and which had been taught to student after student ever since. Mercha tipcha munachet nachta, mercha tipcha mercha sof pasuk. That's how it goes. Trust me. I got it straight from my great-great-grandparents who got it straight from their great-great-grandparents who got it straight from their great-great-grandparents who got it straight from their great-great-great-grandparents who got it straight from Moshe, who got it straight from God. He took this Torah up into space because to him, this scroll symbolizes more than anything the ability of the Jewish people to survive everything, including horrible periods. A people who have gone from the darkest days to the brightest days of hope and faith in our future. Though neither this boy nor this Torah nor his 6 crewmates ever returned to earth, we can be assured that all 7 souls returned to God who created them, and that the letters written in the Torah that were written in deep black ink soared among the stars, and to this day cast a heavenly light on all of God's creation, still declaring, the earth is Adonai's, and its fullness, the world and those who inhabit it. Somewhere, somehow in a galaxy far, far away, some extraterrestrial bar mitzvah teacher is teaching some extraterrestrial beginnings. Mercha tipcha munachet nachta, mercha tipcha mercha sof pasuk. That's how it goes. Trust me, I got it straight from this Torah scroll that came whizzing by me one earthly morning, much to my surprise. With that, Moshe interrupted God. You really expect me to believe this story? That one day human beings are going to ascend to your holy mountain? That they will actually fly into space like angels? With that, God shushed him and said, Moshe, my dear man, after I freed you from Egypt, split the sea of reeds, provided manna and water for you in the wilderness, when will you ever learn? When it comes to me, your God and God of your ancestors, you should have learned that all things are possible. Why do I believe this? Mercha tipcha munachet nachta, mercha tipcha mercha sof pasuk. That's how it goes. Trust me, I got it straight from my great-great-grandparents who got it straight from their great-great-grandparents who got it straight from their great-great-great-grandparents who got it straight from their great-grandparents who got it straight from their great-great-great-grandparents who got it straight from Moshe, who got it straight from God. Today, new people are standing up and volunteering to keep God's Torah alive and available to us and to any other who chooses to join us. To be sure, their mission is difficult, but they are clearly up to the challenge. The good news is, yes, even our temple president, as well as our many temple officers, our board of directors and members of our congregation, the members of this beloved shul can stand on the bima of the shul. Many of them can chant, Mercha tipcha munachet nachta, mercha tipcha mercha sof pasuk. They know how it goes. Trust me, I've heard them chant the words of the Tanakh that came straight to us from our great-great-grandparents who got it straight from their great-great-grandparents who got it straight from their great-great-great-grandparents who got it straight from their great-great-parents who got it straight from Moshe, who got it straight from God. And that, my friends, is how the story goes and how we know that the Torah is truly the Eitz Chaim Hi, the Machazichim Ba, V'tomcha meyushar. It's a tree of life for those who hold fast to it, and all who cling to it will find happiness, Chaim. So with that, I say Shabbat litovim u'lishalom. A Shabbat of joy, of happiness, a Shabbat with peace. And with that, we say, Amen. At this time, we turn to page 51, and we rise, if we choose, and we chant the Aleinu. Aleinu l'shabeach l'adon hakol l'tekru l'yotzer bereshit shelo asanu k'goyei ha'arotzot v'lo samahanu k'mishpachot ha'adama shelo sam chelkeinu kahem v'gol aleinu k'chol hamonam v'anachnu kore'im u'mishtachavim u'mohodim lifnei melech malchei amlachim HaKadosh Baruch Hu Shel Not HaShamayim V'Yoser Haaretz U'Moshe V'Kayo B'Shamayim V'Mar U'Shchinatu Zo U'Shchinatu Zo B'Gavei Meromim U'Eloheinu Einod Emebakeinu Efes Ulato Ka'katuv B'Torato V'yadata yom v'hashivota el levabecha ki Adonai hu ha'Elohim b'shamayim mi'mal v'al haaretz mitachad einod al kein nikabel. וכבלו כולם את עול מלכותך ותמלוך עליהם מהרה לעולם ועד כי המלכות שלך היא למהר תמלוך בכבוד ככתוב בדורותיך אדוני ימלוך לעולם ועד ונאמר והיה אדוני למלך על כל הארץ ביום ההוא יהיה אדוני אחד ושמו אחד ושמו אחד. And now I'm going to ask Adele to help me with the Yortzeit list. If you would be kind enough to read this week's list of those we are remembering with love.
Sure. Benjamin Becker, Helen Belkoff, Abraham Lipman, Hyman Butler, Mildred Mickey Habelow, Selwyn Sherman, Eva Brody, Esther Cohen, Pearl Dantowitz, Beatrice Klein, Evelyn Robinovitz, Mo Weisberg, Irving Pransky, Joseph Schumann, Bessie Phillips, Philip Rosenfield, Paul Jake Solomon, and Sadie Burnham. Are there any other Yortzites this week?
If they are, you may open your mic and say the name. Thank you, Adele. May the faith that binds us to our loved ones be a continuing source of comfort as we now invite those mourning and observing a Yortzeit will stand. And if you wish to open your mic, you may say the words of the Kaddish along with me. Yitgadal v'yitkadash shemei rabbah v'alma divra chirutei v'amlich malchutei v'chayechon uv'yomechon uv'chayei d'chol beit Yisrael Ba'agala uvizman kariv v'imru amen. Yehei shmei rabbah mevarach le'olam u'lomei omaya yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yipa'ar v'yitromam v'yitnaseh v'yithadar v'yit'aleh v'yithalal shemei d'kudusha barichu le'ela min kol birchata v'shirata Tushbachata v'nechemata, da'amiran bi'alma v'imru, amen. Yehi Shalama Rabba Min Shemaya. V'chayim aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'yamru Amen. Oseh Shalom b'mermav. Hu ya'aseh Shalom. Aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'yamru Amen v'amen. At this time, I'm going to ask everybody if your mics are open to please mute them, except for Richard Strauss, who has tonight's announcements. Richard?
Thank you, Rabbi. Shabbat Shalom. For everybody's health and safety and welfare, please acquaint yourselves with the protocols relative to masking and vaccination prior to entering the sanctuary. They're on the website and in emails. Saturday morning services are at 9:30 a.m. tomorrow morning in person and in Zoom. And we hope that we will get at least 10 people in person so that we can take the Torah out. But by the same token, be careful. It really is icing up tonight. Sunday morning services at 9 a.m. again in person and in Zoom. And please, even if you can't come on Sunday morning, we need to get 10 people. We've been having a tough time just getting 10 so that we can have that service. Evening services this week on Monday through Thursday at 7 p.m., both in person and in Zoom. On Monday, at 12 noon, there's the Bridge Group. At 6 o'clock on Monday, there's Zuma. On Tuesday at 12 noon, again, the Bridge people will show up. And at 8 o'clock on Tuesday night, we have Israeli dancing. On Wednesday at 4:30, we have total body strengthening class. And we invite you on Saturday evening, January 29th, for in-person for a family Havdalah service, followed by crafts and snacks to go. And please RSVP to the temple if you are going to attend. The Combined Jewish Women's Organization presents Magina, an a cappella group, on Monday, January 31st at 7:30 p.m. The event will be both live and in person. And join Rabbi Perlman for lunch bunch on Thursday, February 3rd at noon via Zoom. Get yourself a nice lunch and sit and listen to the rabbi and get a great education. Information for all of our events is found on the website and on Constant Contact. And Shabbat Shalom. Please stay safe. It is getting icy out.
Thank you, Richard. Thank you. And everybody, make sure you keep tuned into your weekly e-blasts and check your daily emails, because, things do change. Although we have plans, we make them plans, but the pandemic is laughing. So, let's be cautious and make sure you stay tuned to things, and we'll get through this together. Yes, indeed. I heard they plowed me out tonight, so for sure I'll be in the sanctuary tomorrow. Looking forward to that. Finally. Yigdal will conclude, and then we'll do a little apple juice afterwards, okay? Yigdal Elohim chai v'yishtabach nimtza b'yeinei del metziuto echad b'yein yachid ki yichudo nelam v'gam mein sof leyachduto ein lo demut haguf v'yein haguf lo na'aroch elav kedushato kamon l'chol davar asher nivra rishon v'yein reshit L'Reishito, Hino Adon Elon Lechol Notzar Yoreh Gedulato U'Malchuto Shefan Nevuato Netano Elan Shesegulato B'Tifarto Welcome to Yisrael Kemoshe Od Navi U'Mahabid Et Timunato Toradem En Natan Leyamo El Ayad Neviyon Man Beito Lo Yachalifa El Velo Yamirato Leolamim Lezulato So Fevio Deya Sitareno Mabit Lesof Davar Bekadmato Gomel Yish Chesed Kenifalo Noten Lerashara Kerishato Yishlach Lekech Yamim Meshichenu Lifto Mechakekech Yeshuato Meitim Yichayel Berov Chasto Baruch Adei Ad Shem V'Hilato, Meitim Yechayel Berov Chasto, Baruch Adei Ad Shem Tehilato. A Shabbat Shalom to everybody. Glad you joined us tonight for this beautiful Shabbat service. I'm glad you were able to stay, as Richard said, stay safe and out of the ice. Continue to do that. It is definitely going to get cold this week. So we'll have our apple juice to keep us warm. So here's to safety and here's to good health and l'chaim. Baruch atah l'olam shakol niyeh b'varo l'chaim tovim shalom. L'chaim tovim shalom. L'chaim, l'chaim tovim shalom. Hey! Macintosh apple juice. Loved it.